Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. Embedding Xtext in your website, a comprehensive tutorial. This tutorial will guide you through the process of embedding an Xtext-based editor into your website, enabling users to write and validate code directly in their browsers. We'll cover the necessary steps, including setting up your Xtext project, configuring the web editor, integrating it into your website using JavaScript, and addressing common challenges. Prerequisites ****Xtext knowledge *familiarity with Xtext grammar development, generator workflow, and DSL concepts is essential. Web development basics understanding of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and web server concepts. IDE Eclipse, or your preferred IDE with Xtext support, is needed for Xtext project setup and development. Node.js and NPM, Node Package Manager for managing web dependencies and running build processes. Optional, yeoman *, highly recommended, simplifies the initial setup of the web editor project. Project setup and configuration. 1. Creating an Xtext project ***. In Eclipse, create a new Xtext project, file-new-Xtext project. Name your project, example mydsl. Define your DSL's grammar. For this example, let's create a very basic DSL for defining greetings. Generate the Xtext artifacts, right-click on your .xtext file -run as -generate Xtext artifacts. This creates the necessary Java classes and configuration files. 2. Creating the web editor project ***. This is where you create the JavaScript-based web editor that communicates with your Xtext language server. We'll use Yeoman to scaffold a basic project. Install Yeoman and the Xtext generator ***. Create the web editor project ***. Yeoman will prompt you for several configuration options. What's the name of your project, example mydsl web. What's the vendor name of your project, example. Do you want to use TypeScript, recommended, yes. Do you want to use React, recommended, yes or no, depending on your preference. This tutorial will assume yes. Do you want to use Monaco editor, yes. Monaco is the code editor used by VS Code. It is a powerful and flexible choice. Do you want to use Sprati, usually no unless you plan to create graphical editors. This will create a new directory containing your web editor project. 3. Integrating the Xtext grammar into the web editor ***. This is the crucial step of connecting your Xtext grammar to the web editor. Copy the grammar files copy the mydsl.xtextbin and mydsl.xtext files, located in the org.example.mydsl/src/ directory of your Xtext project, into the mydsl web/src/xtext directory of your web editor project. Create the Xtext directory if it doesn't exist. Configure Webpack Webpack bundles your JavaScript modules into static assets that can be served by a web server. You need to configure Webpack to include your Xtext grammar. Open mydsl web/webpack.config.js. Locate the module.rules section and add a rule to handle .xtext and .xtextbin files. This rule will likely use raw loader to load the files as strings. Update Monaco editor wrapper.ts. If using Monaco, this file configures the Monaco editor with your Xtext language. You need to import your grammar files and configure the Monaco language definition. Open mydsl web/src/monaco editor wrapper.ts, or the equivalent file if you chose a different editor, and modify it like this. Important notes ***. Asterisk adjust the import paths, /stext/mydsl.stext and /stext/mydsl.stextbin, to match your project structure. Asterisk ensure the language ID, mydsl, matches the ID in monaco.languages.register. Asterisk the monaco.languages.setTokens provider is a placeholder. You'll need to implement a proper tokenizer if you want syntax highlighting. Xtext can generate Elixir, but integrating it fully requires more advanced configuration. For basic coloring, you can use CSS styling based on the language scopes provided by Xtext. The official Xtext documentation and examples often provide helpful snippets. Asterisk the URL variable needs to point to the correct endpoint of your Xtext language server running on the backend. Asterisk build the web editor. Asterisk navigate to your mydsl web directory in the terminal and run. This will create a dist directory containing the compiled JavaScript, CSS, and HTML files needed to run the editor. 2. Setting up the Xtext language server. The web editor needs to communicate with an Xtext language server to provide language-specific features like validation, code completion, and syntax highlighting. 1. Create an Xtext language server project. Asterisk in Eclipse, create a new Maven project, file-new-project-maven-maven project. Asterisk choose a suitable archetype, example org.apache.maven.archetypes Maven archetype quick start. Asterisk name the project, example mydsl server. 2. Add dependencies. Asterisk add the necessary dependencies to your mydsl server /pom.xml file. You'll need the Xtext LSP, language server protocol, dependencies and your Xtext DSL's dependencies. Replace version with the appropriate version of Xtext that you are using. Important asterisk replace placeholders with the correct versions. Make sure the version of org.example.mydsl matches the version in your Xtext DSL project's pom.xml. 3. Create the language server entry point. Asterisk create a Java class in your mydsl server /src/main/java/ directory to act as the entry point for the language server. This class will need to start the language server and listen for WebSocket connections. Explanation mydsl server endpoint. This class extends HTTP servlet and serves as the entry point for deploying the WebSocket endpoint. It deploys the mydsl WebSocket endpoint. At web servlet, name equals mydsl server endpoint, URL patterns equals /mydsl. Defines the URL pattern that clients will use to connect to the endpoint. mydsl WebSocket, this class represents the WebSocket endpoint. It handles WebSocket lifecycle events, opening, closing, messages, errors. At server endpoint, value equals /mydsl, specifies that this class is a WebSocket endpoint and defines the URL path. On open, called when a new WebSocket connection is established. It initializes the Xtext language server and connects it to the WebSocket session. On message, called when a message is received from the client, not strictly needed as the LSP handles message transport. On close, called when the WebSocket connection is closed. On error, called when an error occurs on the WebSocket connection. The code uses org.eclipse.lsp4j.json-erp.launcher to launch the language server and connect its input and output streams to the WebSocket session. For configuration, web.xml. Create a web.xml file in the mydsl server /src/main/webapp/webinf directory. Create the directories if they don't exist. This file configures your web application. 5. Build the language server *. Navigate to your mydsl server directory in the terminal and run. This will create a war file, example mydsl server/target/mydsl server.war. This war file can be deployed to a web server like Tomcat. 3. Integrating with your website. 1. Deploy the language server *. Deploy the mydsl server.war file to a web server, Tomcat, Jetty, etc. Make sure the server is running and accessible. 2. Include web editor assets *. Copy the contents of the mydsl web/dist directory to your website static assets directory, example public/mydsl editor. 3. HTML integration *. Add the necessary HTML to your web page to include the web editor. Key points *. The div with the ID Monaco editor container is where the Monaco editor will be rendered. This ID must match the ID passed to the start Monaco editor function in Monaco editor wrapper.ts. Make sure the paths to style.css and bundle.js are correct relative to your website's structure. The start Monaco editor function is the entry point to your web editor code, defined in Monaco editor wrapper.ts. 4. Test your integration *. Open your web page in a browser. You should see the Monaco editor initialized within the div. Type some code in your DSL. If everything is configured correctly, you should see validation errors, if your code is invalid, and, potentially, syntax highlighting. 4. Troubleshooting and common issues. WebSocket connection errors. Double check the WebSocket URL in Monaco editor wrapper.ts. Ensure the language server is running and accessible at that address. Firewall issues can also prevent WebSocket connections. Cannot find module errors. These typically indicate a problem with Webpack configuration or missing dependencies. Make sure you've run npm install in your web editor project and that the webpack.config.js file is correctly configured. Verify that the paths to your Xtext grammar files are accurate. No validation or syntax highlighting. This usually means that the Xtext grammar is not correctly loaded or registered in the web editor. Double check the Monaco editor wrapper.ts file and ensure the register Xtext language function is called correctly. Examine your browser's console for any JavaScript errors. CORS issues. If your web editor and language server are hosted on different domains or ports, you might encounter CORS, cross-origin resource sharing, issues. You'll need to configure your web server to allow cross-origin requests. How you do this depends on the web server you are using, example setting the access control allow origin header. Version mismatches. Ensure that the Xtext version used in your Xtext DSL project, language server project, and web editor project are consistent. Version conflicts can cause unexpected errors. Advanced topics. Custom syntax highlighting. Implement a custom tokenizer for Monaco editor, or your chosen editor, to provide more accurate and visually appealing syntax highlighting. You can potentially leverage the lexer generated by Xtext, but this requires more advanced configuration and JavaScript code. Code completion. Implement code completion proposals based on your Xtext grammar. The Xtext LSP provides a mechanism for this. You'll need to handle the text document/completion request in your language server. Custom validation. Add custom validation rules to your Xtext validator to enforce specific constraints in your DSL. Integration with a web framework. Instead of using plain HTML and JavaScript, integrate the web editor with a web framework like React, Angular, or Vue.js. This can simplify the development and management of your web application. Deploying to cloud platforms. Deploy your language server and web editor to cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. 6. Conclusion. Embedding Xtext into your website allows you to provide a powerful and feature-rich code editor for your DSL directly in the browser. While the process involves several steps, this tutorial provides a comprehensive guide to setting up the necessary components and addressing common challenges. Remember to consult the official Xtext documentation and examples for further details and advanced customization options. Good luck.